Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
Getting down with Fresh Out. You know how we do it over here. Man, I don't know if you guys heard about this Toronto gold heist that took place a year ago, but they are just now starting to make some arrests in that case.
Our investigation involves a stolen quantity of gold and foreign currency that were ordered from a refinery in Zurich, Switzerland. The gold and currency were transported in the hull of an Air Canada flight in an approved airline container destined for Toronto. This flight arrived at Toronto's Pearson International Airport on April 17th, 2023 at 3:56 p.m. Shortly after, the gold and currency were offloaded from the aircraft and brought into Air Canada cargo facility. At 6:32 p.m., the suspect arrived at Air Canada Cargo driving a 5-ton truck. The suspect reversed his vehicle to the loading dock and exited the truck. The suspect was carrying a fraudulent airway bill as he approached the warehouse. The image you see is the actual airway bill that the suspect produced. The airway bill is for a legitimate shipment of seafood that was picked up the day before. This duplicate airway bill was printed off from a printer within Air Canada Cargo. Once inside the warehouse, the suspect provided it to Air Canada Cargo warehouse attendant. A short time later, a forklift arrived with a container of gold and foreign currency and loaded it into the rear of the suspect's truck. The suspect then drives away. At approximately 9:30 p.m. that same evening, Brinks Canada employees attended Air Canada Cargo to pick up the shipment of gold and currency. Air Canada employees tried to locate the container, realized it was missing, and began an internal investigation. At 2:43 a.m. on April 18th, 2023, Peel Regional Police were contacted and advised the load of stolen gold and currency, the load of gold and currency had been stolen. In total, 6,600 gold bars ranging in size and weighing a total of 400.19 kilograms were stolen. Each gold bar is 99.9% pure and contained individualized serial numbers. The gold was valued at approximately $20 million Canadian based on current market value. The stolen banknotes are in foreign currency in various denominations, amounting to a value of roughly 2.5 million Canadian dollars. Investigators from Project 24 Carat conducted a video canvass going door to door and business to business, reviewing video evidence from surveillance cameras beginning at Air Canada Cargo. Working with community business owners in Peel and Halton region, investigators reviewed their video surveillance and believe the truck took the following route after leaving Air Canada Cargo. Westbound on Britannia Road East. Southbound on Dixie Road. Westbound on Highway 401. We continued to follow the truck and checked each exit that Highway 401 intersects with. Erin Mills Parkway, Winston Churchill, Trafalgar Road. The truck does not exit at any of these roadways. This continues into Halton region as the truck passes James Snow Parkway, and we observe the truck exit at Bronte Road and go northbound on Bronte Road. We continue to follow the truck northbound on Bronte Road. Eventually, as the truck travels north of Milton, it becomes more rural and we lose sight of the truck. This video canvass lasted 4 weeks, with investigators checking over 225 separate businesses and residences in Peel and surrounding areas for video surveillance and then reviewing the surveillance to see if the truck happened to pass. Over the last year, Project 24 Carat investigators have executed approximately 37 search warrants, 70 production orders, and interviewed over 50 individuals. During search warrants, investigators seized the following items: $430,000 in Canadian currency. We believe this money is some of the profits the suspects made when they sold the gold. 6 cruelly made gold bracelets that resemble bangles, however they lack various principles typically associated with fine jewelry. These items were sent off for expert examination and are considered to be pure gold. The total value of these 6 gold bracelets is over $89,000. Smelting pots, casts, and molds. These are commonly used in the industry to change the composition of gold. We believe the items you see here today were used to change the composition of the stolen gold bars to different forms, like the bracelets you just saw.
I told you guys in the $30 million LA heist that these people have all the time in the world to investigate, and they will set up a task force whose only job is to find out who was behind these kind of licks. And here it is, a year later in the Toronto gold heist, and they are now starting to make arrests. And believe that whoever was working at that facility, whether it be in the cargo container area, in the airline aspect, on the ground as far as airport transportation, man, they went through their history with a fine-tooth comb. All those people had their emails, their texts, their phone records, their bank logs gone through. Man, they went through everything, and man, it just shows that you know, a robbery of this magnitude is not going to go unchecked, and you cannot get away with a lick at this scale without having inside information. You're not going to get away with $20 million worth of gold. Gold is untraceable. You melt that shit down, move it, do whatever you want. I mean, gold is, man, that's the universal currency. There's no tracking numbers on gold. You melt that down and it's a wrap. And you have to think that whoever came through there with that transport truck, with that fake bill of lading, their days were numbered. They were on so many surveillance cameras at the airport when they went to pick that up. I mean, yeah, you know, you got some Mission Impossible mask type stuff on, but it only takes one person who's like, you know, looking at the most time to start spilling the beans. And, you know, who knows how far down a rabbit hole this whole gold heist goes. It could lead all the way up to somebody who worked at the actual gold company in Zurich, Switzerland, who was in charge of the actual transportation, somebody there. I mean, don't just think it's at a low level. It goes all the way up. These people, you know, they are involved in stuff just like everybody else. Just because somebody wears a suit or, you know, they look like they're college educated or they are college educated, don't mean that they're not a gangster, you know, that they're not capable of putting down moves like this. You know, the most successful bank heist financial criminals in the world wear suits, and they rarely use guns. They have other people for that. The LA heist, 30 million, wasn't no guns fired. You know, everybody sees Heat and think, oh man, shootout. You see these dudes running around with pistols and Dracos, and man, look, I was one of them. The dumbest heist in Big Herc history. You know, you when you do a real lick, you don't do nothing but maybe use a pen and paper. That's it. That's it. But you're not running around with a gun thinking you're going to make some major cash withdrawals and, you know, have something of significance. You know, these guys, 20 million, they had a year run. You know, the Canadian side, they'll probably get less than 10 years. American side, you're gonna get your head split, get 20 years. And, they said now there's maybe tied into a gun smuggling ring. So who knows how big and how vast, and, whoever's still on the streets, if they even make it to being arrested, or, if they just totally go somewhere and change their whole identity and disappear, fake their death, who knows? 20 million worth of gold is a lot of bread. But yeah, man, inside jobs, just like I had mentioned, the guy I knew who got away with, I think they got away with like 15 million inside job, had to know somebody that worked there. And it's information, man. Information is the key, whether it's information on how to, get 20 million worth of gold, whether it's getting 30 million out of a warehouse, or whether it's getting an inside stock pick. All about information, and information is what rules the world and what keeps the haves from the have-nots. So leave a comment, let me know what you guys think. Go to freshouseries.com, pick you up some merch, share the channel, and watch out for them inside jobs, man. If somebody recently put a lick on you, it's probably the homie or your baby mama who gave him the game on how you get down. So don't pillow talk, and watch how you share your information. Big Herc now.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. But exclusive. Smelly ball sack and a funky hoo-ha. Big Herc said, wash that ass. Pick you up a t-shirt at freshouseseries.com.